Hi YouTube, it is me, Raina, and I'm back. So I'm just going to do my thoughts and feelings and review of not only Druck Season 8, but this Druck Generation 2 as a whole. And I will be providing some insight into why things the way they were. If you don't know certain things, I will direct you to the correct places so you can have that yourself. So my overall thoughts first on Season 8 are not good. When it was revealed that Maylin was going to get season 8, I was disappointed along with so many other people. We were hoping that it was going to be at least Ava, considering she's had the most narrative baggage at this point out of all the characters, way more than Maylin did. Maylin was barely in season 7. We didn't really get enough of any narrative about her, which could have been an interesting thing to do a season about, but once again, the whole entire season, she basically ended up the same place she was in the first clip. And it was just really disappointing. A lot of the storylines did not mesh well together. Things didn't come to fruition. I felt that certain characters weren't allowed to be themselves. They erased certain really great personality traits from characters like Ava and Nora and Fatu in certain places. So, yeah, and I just did not find this character engaging. And the thing is that I've always liked Maylin, and I like what they were doing with her at the beginning in seasons 5 and 6, but in her own season, it just did not work for me at all. As for this whole generation, I will say it's bittersweet because I really enjoyed and loved season 5 and 6. I think, to me, out of all the remakes, this Druck did the best job of, transitioning from Generation 1 to Generation 2. They did a fantastic job of doing that. You had a clear cut, Generation 1 had their time, all the characters graduated, and now we're introduced to new characters, and the way Druck did that was fantastic and great, and I felt automatically in love with Nora, with all the Cash Queens, and interested in every single character of this new generation. It was very diverse, racial-wise, sexuality-wise, and gender-wise. And so I was really intrigued on what they're going to do. Because at this time, back in 2020 when this was premiering, I was kind of like, since Scam España is over, I'm done with the remakes, whatever. But then I was hearing about season 5 of Druck, and I was like, interesting, let me go and see it. And like I said, I was enthralled, and they pulled me back in. And the prospect of having a season centered around Fatu, a black lesbian, I was like, oh, wait a minute, that kind of intrigued me. And so, and of course, I stayed. I love season 6. You already know how I feel about that season. And just basically everything that they discussed, everything that was brought up, that they were brave enough to bring up in the show, even if it did get backlash from the fans. I admire the writers of seasons 5 and 6 of bringing up really important issues that do impact these girls and impact young teens in, I'm guessing, in Germany and basically really all over the world, really. Now, if you don't know behind the scenes, the writers did change between seasons 5 and 6 to season 7 and 8. 5 and 6 had a group of writers, 7 and 8 had a different group of writers. And so, we talk about the quality going down, you can kind of see it starting in season 7 and really going down in season 8. And there was a podcast with a past cast member. Her name is Emily. She played Sarah in Druck seasons 1 through 3. She was the friend of Leonie, the girl who dated Mateo in season 3. She's the actress, and she was interviewing on a podcast. The podcast is called Alter Love, and she was talking about basically saying, I hope this doesn't go on forever, because if you're not going to tell the story, then just don't tell the story. And she was saying how the network was, really conservative at times. They wanted to tell Amira's story in full, but they, weren't allowed to. And that's why her season was shortened. And it seemed like they wanted to have a stronger hold on the OG, but they didn't because, this was a popular show. Obviously, Scam was really popular with teens and the young audiences. So when the creators wanted to change something, they were like, either we're doing this or you're not going to have this season. Okay. So the creators had a stronger hold in that. And then now that we're going into original season with original characters, like with the second generation, I'm guessing the writers didn't have that much say, and the network felt more powerful because now it kind of, in their minds, feels like their show. You know what I mean? So they were able to rule with an iron fist. And the tea is, allegedly, the writers from seasons 5 and 6 were fired, and they hired newer writers who had probably been to their will when it came to creative control and everything. And the evidence here is Aaron, the person who plays Issy in Druck, who is the lead of season 7, said they had to fight for that scene where Issy chooses their pronouns in that club where David is there and everything. And they were kind of sending subliminal messages about, like, not liking this season, kind of sending shade here and there. So there's that. And then it's before season 8 premiered, the actress who plays Ava, even though she did not mention Druck, she went on this whole spiel on her Instagram talking about, like, oh, I'm not going to be, the jolly golly coon who's going to just sit back and just laugh and whatever. Like, it was very in depth, and if you look for it, you'll find it. You'll see what she said, and how they characterized Ava in in season 8. I could see it. They stripped Ava of what made her interesting. They really watered down her character a lot, just made her a cheerleader. The same thing with Fatu. And it was just sad to see, and I wish we had her season. And, just watching the last clip, I did get a little choked up, a little emotional of season, because seasons 5 and 6 were so good, so great. And then for these last 2 seasons not to at least have that same greatness. There were some sparks here and there, but not all the way through. And it really just, it irks me because these characters, a lot of them have so much, richness, and there was so much stuff that they could have done with characters, and they just did not do. And I fully blame the network of that, and the writing team of these last 2 seasons, because in the first 2 seasons, they won an award for diversity. The girl who played Nora in season 5, that actress, she won an award. She's busy now. She's working. The actress who plays Fatu is working. She's on another TV show. So these kids are talented. They're working in other stuff, like all of them are. And it just really, it really sets a disappointment in me that there could have been so much more that they could have done. And I just felt like these characters, didn't really come through this season. And it left me feeling kind of two-sided, being like, I love season 5 and 6, but it just didn't come all the way through. I mean, I'm thankful for, like, the social media content that we got from other characters, especially, Fatu and Kumi through these last 2 seasons. At least we got to see them do whatever, and now they're together, so, and it didn't end, in heartbreak or anything, and I'm happy about that. And I'm grateful, especially for Fatu's story and Ava's story. Even though we didn't get Ava's season, and we should have, I'm grateful that we at least, showcased, in 5 and 6 of who the true character Ava was before they stripped her of everything. At least that. And I really am, not angry. Well, yeah, kind of angry that I could not really enjoy the Cash Queens in the last 2 seasons, because I love that friend group. I personally believe they were stronger than the OG Girl Squad in so many ways. And there were so many layers, and there was so much stuff, and they just watered them down in the last season. And so, yeah, but overall, like I said, it's kind of a two-sided thing where I love 5 and 6, and I'm grateful for that, but overall it's kind of really undercooked, and I can't really say I'm fully satisfied with everything. I am grateful for the things that I just listed, everything else, but other than that, it kind of leaves like a unfinished meal, compared to the way other remakes ended, where I feel like, even though I felt, like with Scam Espana, like the last season, was not up to par to what I wanted for Amira and everything. At least I felt the characters there, and I got to spend time with the characters and really enjoy them kind of in the last season, the last couple episodes, and felt the love there and everything throughout the whole entire show. But here, I didn't feel that all the way through, unfortunately. Like I said, I am grateful, but yeah, I'm just rambling. But what are your thoughts on this last season of Druck? Is it the last? Who knows? But as of right now, I'm done with the show. Who knows? But still, what are your thoughts? Leave them down below by YouTube.